Cool, everyone. Thanks for joining us. As you can see, we've got Sacha and Dawie here. Dave, this weekend we're playing our second game at DHL Stadium this season. I mean, how much are we looking forward to actually playing in our own stadium again?
Yeah, no, great. I think it's just a special place. We always play well at DHL. There's a lot of energy there. This time of the year, it's phenomenal. A lot of people on holiday, so excited to be back at home.
Yeah, Christmas derby. It's been a big fixture in the last couple of years, so lots to look forward to against a good Lions side as well.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think obviously the Lions have been doing well lately. Even the back end of last year's URC, they came close to finishing in top eight. We're looking forward to the game, but also being back there, our guys playing, a few guys coming back from injury, so it's going to be a nice occasion.
Speaking of which, Sach, I've been a bit of a frustrating season for you, like a bit of like a stop-start. You're keen to get a few consecutive games under the belt.
Yeah, it's kind of been a trend. Kind of every time I sort of pick up momentum, I take a backseat in the injury seat. So I'm just kind of all my rehab went according to plan. I did everything I could to kind of put my best foot forward physically. So I'm just hoping I can build some momentum, play some good rugby, help us get some points, and take it week by week in that sense.
Going to be a big occasion. This is the kind of game you want to play in. It's going to be a big crowd. It's a derby. It's it's the first of season in Cape Town. So how much are you looking forward to that side of things?
I'm excited. I think we all know how important it is for us. It's not something we're oblivious about, especially in the group. So it's kind of like a nice pressure to have to go win a game in front of the faithful, and kind of just remind South Africa that we are the top team.
Cool. All right, guys. I see Ashfaq's got his hand up. You go for it, Ashfaq.
Hi, good afternoon, guys. Hi, Sacha, Dawie. Dawie, just the injury situation, how's things looking? Is a bit of positive news this week?
Yeah, I think there's a few guys that will make a final call on today. So, Barney still has to progress. France is back, and Dion is also back. And BJ is also back. But like I said, we will only make that final call after today. They have to get through full training.
And just how are the guys feeling at the moment? I know it was a tough weekend, and it's been a tough period now, actually, with quite a few guys out and results not going your way. How's the morale at the moment?
I think it's you can feel there's quite a high level of focus. The boys they understand what's at stake. We want to get over the line and put in a good performance. So I think starting from yesterday and today, there's a high level of focus. Boys, like I said, they want to do well. So and I mean, it is pressure in rugby. It's part of the game. So we're embracing it, and we're excited to go and play.
Sacha, for you, injuries are also part of the game, and I know it's been a tough ride for you. You reach such enormous highs, but also, the difficult times of sitting out. How's it been the last few weeks for you?
Yeah, I was actually for the first time. I'm not really one to be happy after a loss, but that Sharks game, I was really just happy to be out on the field again, and I was so happy to play. That's kept me going, and I've been looking forward to this fixture since I got that concussion. So for me, just kind of resetting and getting back into the mix of things with the group has been really, really nice. And yeah, I'm just super keen to play again. The breaks are never nice, but it's again another time to strengthen other areas.
And I guess also for you personally, your team is battling at the moment. The results haven't gone their way, and various other circumstances too. For you to make a big contribution again, like you have in the past, that must really be fueling your desire this week.
Yeah, definitely. There's so much individual responsibility, and whichever position I play, there's a responsibility that's on me. So I take that with pride, and I'm excited to contribute in that sense. But I think everyone's kind of zoned in, and we all know that this is going to be a huge requirement from everyone, and everyone's training and preparing that way. And I think we're really in a good space for the weekend.
There's one more, Sasha. Sometimes if you're just on the outside looking in, you can maybe get a more global perspective in terms of how the team is doing compared to when you're there at the coalface every day in training. Just your feelings at the moment of maybe what the team can do a bit better just to get over the line, because sometimes, like even last week, that first half an hour was a good spell, and then things just didn't pan out for the rest of the game.
Yeah, for me, we've kept things consistent here at the union where we train properly and we do our preparations properly, and nothing's really changed from our success of the first season to now. So we understand as a group that we've got everything in place, and that we're losing the small moments at the moment. So if we can flip those around and start creating opportunities and capitalizing off of those small moments, we'll get good results, and I think we'll be back where we're supposed to be.
Cool, thanks.
Cool, thanks, Ashfaq. Guys, are there any other questions? Stephen, yes, Stephen.
Well, thanks very much, Mike. Hi, guys.
Yeah.
Sacha, just in terms of how the players are handling the pressure this weekend, it's a very interesting situation because one would normally, there's a little bit less pressure on the Lions in the normal season, I suppose, in terms of expectations, and then there are higher expectations of you. Of you guys. I mean, how are you guys as players experiencing the pressure this week? Is it something that kind of weighs heavily on you, or is it something that you embrace?
Yeah, I think that for us, there's a big difference between external and internal pressure, and I think the pressure right now is all internal. We drive certain standards in the group, and we're not happy with what we're putting out there. But since season one, we've never been the favorites. We've always kind of been the underdog. So to listen to the outside noise would have been, doing ourselves a misjustice. So I think, we've stuck to what we know, and that's just, keeping things in-house and sorting out making solutions to our problems. And I think we'll just keep on doing that. And the only pressure will be, amongst each other to perform and put the jersey in a good space.
So you guys are confident as the players group that you can turn the season around?
I think it's very early days in the URC season. I think we've still got a lot of home fixtures to come, and I think we would be, shooting ourselves in the foot a bit if we didn't feel there could be a confident outcome for the rest of the season. Because, like I said, it's very early days. We can still turn things around quite nicely.
And just in terms of on a personal level, so we've been this a magic year for you. I mean, is the Stormers sort of also a piece of the puzzle that you could think, if you can get a good run of games now, injury-free, that this is something where you can take your game to the next level as well?
Definitely. I think, for any player, franchise rugby is the step to getting to that international rugby. So I don't take for granted any moment I have here, and I know that this is a stepping stone to becoming a better player. So yeah, just working hard here and doing my job correctly, and be good outcomes from that, I think.
And what is the research showing you in terms of the opposition this weekend?
At their young team. Young team, I don't know. We don't know what position, what players they'll put out. But it's a South African derby. We've seen these guys a few times, and we know what to expect, and I'm sure they'll make plans for us. And so it will just be about who can, stick to that plan, or when they get punched in the face, make a better one.
Figuratively speaking. Dawie, just in terms of the weekend game, obviously it's not that relevant because, at the end of the day, you guys didn't put your strongest lineup out there, but is there anything that you can take from the weekend's game that you can apply to this weekend?
Yeah, I think there's always something you can take out of a game. It's not just as a team, but it's also as individuals. There's some players that played that's going to be involved this weekend. So learnings from that, a few tactical decisions we made, we probably could have done better, and just how we sort of, once you lose momentum, how can you regain that momentum? And that's one thing we couldn't get right this weekend. But obviously, us as coaches, we'll look at it behind the scenes, and all the learnings we took from last weekend definitely put into place and try and improve for the weekend.
How did you feel as somebody who coaches the backs what Johnny Roche did? Because he played well in Currie Cup, and he had some very good moments, but then he steps up to Champions Cup, and he also comes up with a play that's quite decisive in terms of leading to a try. So that must be pleasing for you to see.
Sacha's very happy because he's also from Bishops now. So no, he's an exciting player. I think it was quite but his Currie Cup was cut short with injury, and he came back now. So he's a big future for him, and he's shown what he can do, at Currie Cup, and then also just a small glimpses at this level. So definitely a guy that's going to play some great rugby for the Stormers.
Dawie, was there maybe in that game also a reminder of what youth can do for you? I suppose Sacha sitting next to you is also always a reminder of that. But, you're looking at a guy like Johnny, and then there's Vernon Matongo that really looked like, stepped into a scrum at that level and did really well. Is there a reminder maybe there that how much young players can do for you?
Yeah, and I think, like I said, Paul de Villiers, JC Moss, that those are players that they definitely bring something. We can see it at training. It's a great opportunity for us to test them at in match scenario, and like I say, I think youth always brings a bit of energy. They're fearless, and it's great to have youngsters pushing us and trying to improve and learning from the senior guys as well.
And what do you think Dawie has made the Lions a team that is really looking like they're a team that's competing very well at this level this season so far?
I think they've had consistency. They've over the last 3-4 years they had a core squad that hasn't changed a lot. That gives you rhythm as a team. Also playing together in a lot of the Currie Cup games. So they didn't have a lot of disruptions. And they're a tough side. They compete well. To go to Leinster and really put up a fight and put up a fight in Munster. Those are two tough fixtures, and they were in the game up until the last moment. So you can see they don't go away. It's a team that really fights for each other, and almost like you said, they usually have the underdog tag. And I think that's also always brings the best out of them as a group.
Dawie, just two of the one of the issues from the weekend is when you guys turned over possession close to your try line and or in your 22, and you were in a position to relieve pressure. You had the kicks from Blommer and from Salman, which perhaps didn't have a good outcome. But are there set sort of exit plans if you get the ball in those positions, that this is the exit plan, or is it pretty much left to the instinct of the players to?
Yeah, look, no, I agree with you. Those were probably two big moments, both were tries. So I think the understanding that you're under pressure, we got 2 yellow cards, you're 13 men down, and you got the ball in the 22. You kick it out and go for a line out. Now you want to try and create from that position, which is expensive, especially against a team like Harlequins that can shift the ball and move it into space really effectively. So lessons learned there, and like I said, that was expensive.
Sacha, Johnny Roche, did you know him at school? He was a bit younger than you, was he?
Yeah, year below me. We played obviously my matric year, we didn't have a first team here, so he came up. I think he started at fullback that game against Palcom at Newlands. Yeah, he's always been the same guy, just a great oak to have in the team, to work extremely hard, put his body on the line. Kind of just a great teammate to have around, man. I've always gotten along well with him, yeah.
He's younger than you, but you said you did play with him at school, did you?
Yeah, it was the year below me. So he played
first
team in grade 11 with us, yeah, for the one game with Snyman, Imad, and one or two others.
Okay, she may have held a few drinks for you. Yeah. And Sacha, just lastly, the Springboks, it's just if one looks at all the players around, it's just a reminder all the time of how much fly-off talent there is in South Africa. I mean, you compete against so many players now. Jordan's also coming up now. So just your thoughts in terms of how important it is now for you guys just to step up in the URC, considering all the competition there is at national level.
I think it's a tricky one, but like I said a bit earlier, I think just the individual responsibility. I mean, the national team isn't something you really consciously think about when you're in the setup here. But just executing your individual roles will set you up for your journey. But right here, kind of just worried about the Stormers journey, and I'm sure when we turn things around, it'll give us a better look in for guys for national selection. But for now, we kind of just want to put our best foot forward in the URC and let the rest take care of itself. The international window is 6-7 months away. It's a long time. Two good fixtures in 2 weeks, and it's a whole different story. So yeah, we'll just take it game by game and hope we put our best foot forward for national selection and points.
Thanks very much, guys. Really appreciate it. Good luck for the game.
Thanks, Stephen.
Thanks, Stephen. Next, we've got 986526. That's not a full cell phone number. Might be a date of birth. Yeah. You can unmute yourself and ask your question. 986526.
No worries, that's me. Sorry, it's Sim, Mikey.
Hey, Sim. That's definitely not your date of birth, mate. Yeah.
No. I
You're
was
more like
looking at it
78
as well.
rather than 98, eh?
I was looking at it as well, trying to work out like what's going on. I have no idea what that is. It's a work laptop, so maybe that's what it is.
Okay. Maybe it's a PIN code. I'll keep it.
Sorry, I have no idea. Sorry, guys. I'll start with Sacha. Sacha, obviously things have slowed down a bit in terms of how the rest of the year has gone. But if you could look back for me and sort of reflect on the year in which obviously you made your debut and got that nomination for breakthrough player of the year.
Also, I reflect on the year for you.
Yeah, sort of the kind of year you had, sort of in its entirety, as opposed to obviously just the last few weeks.
Yeah, just in terms of the year, obviously I had ambitions of representing the national side. I didn't think it would go close to as what it did. So looking back on the year, I can only feel blessed and just extreme gratefulness, because I didn't really see that coming, and it was a nice way to see that if you work hard, you can get good results. So the year's been a big learning curve for me, just in terms of putting in the work to get the results, and learning so much from guys around me, and getting a taste for silverware. I think that's something I really wanted to experience. So yeah, I think it served me great, good going forward, and I hope to keep this momentum.
Yeah, thank you. Dawie, I imagine where you guys are is not exactly where you hoped you'd be at this stage of the season. The question is, how has that changed your goals for the rest of the season?
I think Sacha alluded to it. It's still early days. Sometimes get carried away with looking at the log and seeing if we're probably in a really bad position. And actually looking back at the games, it was quite close, So I think obviously not exactly where we want to be, but sometimes the low road is maybe good for the team, and good for us to grow, So we're not scared of it. We've been there before, so I think it's starting to play final rugby early is maybe not a bad thing.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you. And lastly, we've got Star Sports. I think it's Josh.
Yeah, how's it, guys? Guys, just a question more around conditioning and fitness of the overall team. I just wanted to hear your thoughts and kind of where you guys see yourselves in terms of a kind of peak performance fitness point of view. Just watching a few of the games, it seems like a lot of the little lapses in concentration or kind of one-on-one tackles that have been missed. It sometimes seems like the guys might be a bit tired coming from the 50, 60-minute mark. With all the injuries you've had and you guys coming in, there's not been a lot of game time for everybody. So, yeah, just kind of where you guys are in terms of that, where you think you are, and is it something that the team is working on or talking about?
I think it's probably, to put it to fitness. I wouldn't say that's a problem. A lot of tactical decisions you make or mistakes you make has an influence in terms of how hard your team needs to work. So one or two moments we get wrong, it looks like we might move a bit slower, but it's more mistakes in terms of tactical, and also some teams are putting you under pressure. So but we're definitely not worried about that.
Okay, cool. And just one more question out of interest with the move from south to north. It's quite a vast difference in weather and conditions. When in the past, in the Super Rugby days, it was pretty similar. Kind of, it was cold here, it was cold there. But I mean, this weekend, it looked like it was freezing. And then you come into play this weekend and it might be 30, 31, 32 degrees. Have you guys seen that impact you in any way at all? Or is it business as usual?
I think it's just kind of just plays into where rugby's going at the moment, where you need to be able to adapt week in, week out to your opposition and the conditions that you'll be playing in. I definitely feel we will be better for it going forward, and every week you sort of adapt a bit better and get a bit better. But for us, no problem. If we're going to go that side and be in the wet, we'll use our physical pack. We just need to tap into that more, and if we're going to be here, we'll move the ball and do what we love most. So for us, I don't think it's a big factor. And I think we just really focused on just capitalizing on what we can in whichever place we are and executing our game plan to the best. Like Dawie said, they're just little tactical decisions that we can do better in the situations.
Super, thanks. And just a last follow-up question from my side is it something that you guys kind of prepare yourself for, like being in a position where you're going to have to be able to play good running rugby? Let's say if you're in Pretoria and then you need to go up to where you were this weekend and it's cold, it's scrumming, it's kind of a whole different game plan really, or way of playing. Is it something you guys look at it across the season and kind of try and prepare both circumstances, or did you just choose a lane and you kind of go for what approach fits you best?
I think for me, regardless of where you are in the season, location, or where we are in the season time-wise, I think everything stays the same. You'll do your kicking on a Monday, scrumming on a Tuesday, maybe kicking on a Wednesday, whatever you do, and nothing really changes. Obviously, you may put more emphasis on a certain area of your game, but regardless of the weather, that's going to change opposition to opposition. So the weather's just another reason to tap into another area of our game more, and those are things we work consistently. We don't switch off our kicking game when we get to the sunny Cape Town. We keep working on things consistently so that when the opportunity presents itself, you can quickly tap into that skill set. So for us, I don't think that's too much of a thing we're concerned about.
Okay, cool. Thanks, guys.
Cool, Josh. Thanks, guys. Let me know if you're coming through the stadium tomorrow.
Thank you.
All the best.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys.